amortization is the process of paying off a loan through regular payments over a set period. Each payment consists of both interest and principal. In the beginning, a larger portion of the payment goes towards interest, while a smaller portion reduces the principal balance. As time goes on, this proportion gradually shifts, with a greater percentage of each payment applied to the principal.
Amortization schedules and monthly payments. So, what is amortization schedule? Is a table that details each periodic payment on an amortizing loan, showing how much goes towards principal and interest over time. Monthly payments, it refers to the fixed amount a borrower pays each month towards the loan. Monthly payments is calculated based on factors like the loan amount, interest rate, and loan term. So now let's try using the amortization loan in solving some problems. Let's say you take out a loan to buy a car. The loan amount is 10,000 pesos. The annual interest rate is 6% and you'll pay it back in 1 year, 12 months. And here are some questions that we need to answer. A. What is monthly payment? B. What's the total amount you will pay in 1 year? C. Calculate the total interest that must be paid. To solve for monthly payments, here is the formula we are going to use. M is equals to P times R times 1 plus R raised to N over 1 plus R raised to N minus 1. Wherein M stands for monthly mortgage payment, P is principal loan amount, R is monthly interest rate, and N number of payments. So based on our given problem, let's try to look for the missing pieces in solving the equation. So our P is 10,000. To solve for R, our annual interest rate of 6%, we will convert it to decimal. So it will become 0.06 divided by 12 months. And it will become 0.05. So for number of payments, which is N, we just need to multiply the years into 12 months. So 1 times 12 is equals to 12. Let's now input the given value we have collected into our formula. So we have now distributed all the values. Let's try to solve for the numerator first. 1 plus 0.005 raised to the exponents of 12 will become 1.06167. We just multiply it to 0.005. And for the numerator, it will be the same. We just minus 1. So after getting the numerator and denominator, we will multiply it to 10,000. And the result is gonna be our monthly payment. Since we have already solved the monthly payment, we can now remove some of our procedures to make some space for the next problem we need to solve. So now let's proceed to the next question. What is the total amount you will pay in 1 year? To solve for the total amount, we just need to multiply the monthly payment into the N. So we just distribute the value 860.61 pesos times 12. It will be 10,327.32 pesos. And that is the total amount you will pay in 1 year. Let's now proceed to the next question. Calculate the total interest that must be paid. To solve for this, we just need to subtract the principal value into the total amount. So that will be 10,327.32 pesos minus 10,000 pesos. And the result is 327.32. And this is the total interest that we paid in 1 year. So if we make a amortization schedule based on the problem we just solved, this will be the result. So as we can see in the table, we will be paying the 10,000 loan inside 12 months, which in this case we put the period. Let's look at the period 1. The beginning balance is 10,000 kasi nga hindi pa tayo nakabayad. If we pay the monthly payment of 860.60 pesos, ang magiging ending balance na lang ay 9,189.34. So, sa second period, yung ending balance mo sa first period, yun na ang magiging beginning balance sa second period. And this will repeat hanggang sa period 12, which is yung magiging ending balance na lang is 0. It means nabayaran mo na ang iyong loan. And also, if you want to know the interest payment and principal payment in each period, here is the formula. Interest 1 is equals to beginning balance 1 times R. And i-input natin 10,000 times 0.005 is equals to 50. So as you can see in the table, we can notice based on the table, if we use the amortization loan, the principal balance, or in this case the beginning balance, it gets smaller and smaller. The amount of interest you pay also decreases because the interest is calculated on the remaining balance. Some of the advantage of using amortization loan is it offers consistent monthly payments. So, mapapaghandaan mo talaga kung ilan ang ibabayad mo for each month. It helps you budget effectively and avoid any unexpected financial surprise.
Good day, class. We have here the formula for the sinking funds and also for amortization funds. Before we discuss to the formula, I will give you the meaning of each variables used in that formula. We have here PMT, which is the payment made at the end of period. The P is the principal amount. The R is the annual interest rate or the interest rate. M is the number of compounding payments per year. P is the number of years, and also we have here the I, which is R, the rate over the number of compounding per year. And also we have also the S stands for future value for accumulated funds, and R is the payment at the end of period. And also we have N is the number compounding per year multiplied by the number of years. We will now find the formula of amortization using the future value of annuity formula. And also using the compound interest formula. We have here the compound interest formula, which is equals to 1P plus 1 plus rate over the M multiplied by N and T. And also here we have also the future value of annuity, which is the present value is equals to the payment plus R over M. Figure 1, where M raised to the power of mt minus 1 all over R over M. If we do substitute this by a constant, this both formula will have the same amount, which is we will ending the compound interest is equals to the present value for annuity. Then we will have here P 1 plus R over M raised to the power of MT is equals to payment bracket 1 plus rate over number of compounding years times the raised to the power of number of compounding years times the number of years minus 1 all over rate over number of compounding years. From this formula, we will now derive a formula for amortization. By this, we will multiply both sides by this formula to transfer it over here. Multiply both sides by its reciprocal. So R over N all over 1 plus R over N raised to the power of nt minus 1. By here, we can cancel this and also this and also this to get rid of it, and we will left by payment. May iwan na lang yung payment. And from this, also we will multiply by the reciprocal of this, which will have the P 1 plus R over N raised to the power of N T by multiply by R over M all over 1 plus R over M raised to the power of N minus 1. By here, we will multiply this side by 1, which we will have 1 over 1 plus R over N is equals to T. Take note, guys, that 1/2 over 1/2 is just equals to 1. And also 4/3 over 4/3 is also equal to 1. So, it's just, this equation is just equal to 1. Note that 1/2 over 1/2 is equal to 1. Just to clarify things. This year, we will multiply by, multiply natin ito dito. So, we will derive that. So, the upper part will be P 1 plus R over N and P. Remember, guys, that it is 1 over this, so we will just cancel it. So we will end just like this, R over N. Then this one we will multiply by here. It will just give us 1 plus r over n raised to the power of nt multiplied by 1 over 1 plus r over n raised to the power of nt will just give us 1. And also negative 1 times 1 will give us negative 1 over the denominator, which is 1 plus r over n raised to the power of n t. Hence, this is just same. 1 times this value is just given, will give us just this value. Now, there's a we will simplify this form into the simplest form. We will give us, using an exponential rule, it will give us, we will transfer it on this side. Or make it this way, we will transfer it on this side. So, it will give us 1 plus r over m raised to the power of n t minus 1. Take note guys that in the power rule or in the exponential rule, the exponent of the denominator, if we transfer it to numerator, it will become negative. Just make it here. So now, here now is our formula for amortization.
Introduction of sinking funds. So first, what is a sinking fund? A sinking fund is a saving account that you use to save for a specific expense that you want in the future. It helps you avoid using credit cards or dipping into your emergency fund for planned expenses. So in other words, sinking funds is a saving or money you save for a specific goal. For example, you want to buy house and lot and car in the future. So you need a sinking fund to achieve your goal. Next is how sinking fund work. You determine the amount you need for the planned expenditure and set aside a certain amount each month specifically for that expense. Next is the importance. Sinking funds encourage a consistent saving habit. You develop the discipline of setting aside money regularly, which is beneficial for overall financial well-being. Sinking funds make budgeting more manageable. You can allocate specific amounts for future needs, making it easier to track your spending and avoid overspending. Next, the benefits. First is plan for irregular expenses. Second is avoiding debt. The third one is in earning interest on your saving.
Sinking funds. Sinking funds, the potential valuation of the funds is considered to be the appropriate payment estimated. At the end of each year, equivalent contributions are made to ensure that there is adequate income. In sinking funds is managed by arranging a side fund over a span of time to meet prospective future expenses. Therefore, now, sinking fund is a very much like a saving account. So in this case, however, it's different from annuity because you know the future value, you know how much you want to have saved. But what you don't know is how much you have to put away each week or each 3 months, every 3 months, every 6 months, or in a year. So there is a known monetary. So sinking fund is known as an entire lump sum that you're saving for and you're attempting to determine the payment amount for college, for vacation, for a retirement. So how much do I need to put a week each month, or every 3 months or a year? If I want to be saving for college, let's say 100,000, how much do I need to be putting away each month? Um, or if I want to save for 20,000 for vacation, or if I want a half million for my retirement, so how much do I need to putting away in regular payment? So that's the sinking funds. Sinking funds is that the way you're saving at the same time your future expenses. So, naabot mo na yung future expenses mo at the same time you're saving. So, that's the sinking funds. So, the formula we will use, so this is our formula. S is equal to R multiplied by 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 all over I. Then R equal to IS over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Whereas S is future value of the funds as its maturity goal amount for sinking fund. R is present value, the amount that should be invested today. J is nominal interest rate, M compounding period per year, T is time in year, the term, I is interest rate per period, and N is total number of period. To calculate the interest rate per period, I equal nominal rate divided by compounding period in a year, or I equal J divided by M. To calculate the total number of period, N equal compounding period per year multiply by number of years, or N equal M multiply by T. So let's proceed to the example number 1. Christine wants to accumulate 100,000 in 10 years. If the bank is paying 8% interest compounded quarterly, how much must she deposit at the end of each 3 months period to reach her desired goal? So the given here are the mean accumulate. This is the future value of the funds. So yung desired goal niya na makamit siya ng 100,000. That's the S. S equal 100,000, M equal 4. M is compounded period per year, which is the quarterly. So quarterly is equivalent to 4. That's why M equal to 4. J equal 8% or 0.08. I equal 0.02. Why? Because we divide J and M, which is 0.08 divided by 4 equal to 0.02. T is 10 years and equal to 40. How to get it? Because we multiply the M and T, which is 4 multiplied by 10 equal to 40. When Christine wants to accumulate 100,000 in 10 years, so that her desire now for 10 years where she paid quarterly and every year. So, and 10 years, so since our given here are ay nabigay na, so let's proceed to the R. where she wants to know how much would she deposit so she can reach that 100,000. R equal to I S all over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. So let's just substitute the value. So R equal to 0.02 multiplied by 100,000 all over 1 plus I, which is 0.02. Our n is 40, then minus 1. So equal to 1,655.6. So she need to deposit 1,655.6 so that she can accumulate at 100,000. So there is more. The question is, how much will Molly actually have? Remember it's a saving account. So every contributed time that she put money into that account, she earned a little bit of interest on it. She gonna put a 1,655.6. So she gonna put 1,655.6. So that's I times compounded, which is 4 times 10. So that is 66,224. So to find the interest is equal to the future value minus the investment. So the future value there is the 100,000 minus the 66,224 equal to 33,776. So this will be the interest she earned in that account if she put or deposit 1,655.6. So yun yung advantage of the sinking funds.
Now, we will derive the formula of sinking funds from the future value of IUP formula, which is future value is equals to payment multiplied by 1 plus R over N raised to the power of MT minus 1 all over R over N. By this formula of annuity, we will now simplify and change the variable for easy understanding. To simplify it, let FB replace as S, and also the payment replace as R for the sinking fund formula. So we will have S is equals to R multiplied by 1 plus R over N raised to the power of Ft minus 1 all over R over N. We now have this simplified form and change it variables. And also we can change also the R over N into I. So it will be this way. So let's begin to derive how to find the formula of sinking funds, where the formula for the payment at the end of the period. By this time, we will just multiply it reciprocally both sides. So we will have 1 plus 1 plus I raised to the power. Also, we can substitute this pala, yung FP natin is, okay, we can do it just like this. Later on, we will elaborate this. We will just, kailangan natin gawin yung simplest muna siya para wala masyadong numbers and variables na nakasali. So, by this, we will multiply it by both sides. So, if we multiply it, I'm sorry, it's a reciprocal way pala. So, the I over 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1. So by here, we can cancel this, and cancel. And also, we will multiply it to the other side as well. So we will have R is equals to S 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1. So there, it is the sinking funds formula. But wait, there's more. We need to simplify it and make it understandable by these given variables specifically. We will just multiply this part. R is equals to S multiplied by I, which is I, over 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1. So here is the formula for sinking funds. But also we can derive it by this way. R replaced by the original form, which is PMP is equals to S for the future value for accumulated funds, and also the future value which we don't have here, which is FB, is also the future value So we will have FB multiplied by I over, by the way, I will replace I by R over N. Then, all over 1 plus I, which is R over N, raised to the power of N, which is MT minus 1. So, here it is. We have two formula, but it's just the same. We will use this one if it has a given of interest, or the interest is given also, but yet if you don't, it's not specific, directly given, but it's specifically given, we can use this one to further elaborate and for much understanding. So that's all. Thank you for listening. Akin lang. Bye-bye.